Hi, grade 8. Good morning. How are you all? Hope you all are fine. I'm doing well, but yeah, I have got cold. So, nevertheless, here the season is changing and everything. Winter is drawing near, so there will be a bit of sound change in me as well. So, one good news I have got, and I guess you all have got as well. From 30th November, that is from Monday itself, we are going to meet uh, each other virtually, right? So I'm very excited. I'll be able to see all of you. And on Saturday, I missed few of you, but from next time, I guess we'll be meeting very soon, and you all will be very regular in that. And I'll be getting more and more answers from you all, and everybody will be answering. And one more thing, I'm very much satisfied. I'm very, 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 very satisfied. And I even had a word with Shanti ma'am and everything regarding those things. So I'm really happy. And apart from that, as I was discussing, uh, you are going through the chapter very well, the summit within and everything. So that was pretty interesting. That as a teacher, I was boosted up more and more, listening to that and hearing that you people are learning so well and your people are following my class as well, because very soon and very recently you all had a change in teacher and everything, right? So that was great in that way. Thank you so much, and I ask pardon from you all for this sneezing and everything. I ask pardon beforehand, okay? So, okay, let us start from where we had stopped. I'll be repeating one or two paragraphs so that you are able to understand the chapter well. So, let's start with para 5, right? So, it is Jodie's fawn. Jody gave himself over to thoughts of the fawn. So now Jody is thinking about the fawn all throughout. They had passed the abundant clearing. He said, cut to the north. Millville. It was up here that Pa got bitten by the snake and killed the doe, and I saw the fawn. Suddenly, Jody was unwilling to have Millville with him. If the fawn was dead or could not be found, he could not have his disappointments in. And if the fawn was there, the meeting would be so lovely and so secret that he would not endure to share it. So, as I had discussed in the previous class also, the character Jody, that is the main protagonist of the story, did not want anyone to show his inner feelings, whether it was enjoyment, whether it was sadness. He did not wish or did not wish to show it to others. So that was the main concern of the character Jody. So he immediately said, Mr. Mill, that I do not wish you to continue with the process anymore. Just leave me here and you may proceed on with your work. Because he will show some other excuses so that he doesn't follow him till the end of the finding of the fawn, right? He said, it is not far now, but the scrub is very thick for a horse. I can make it on my foot. But I'm afraid to leave you, boy. Suppose you got lost or got bitten by the snake, too? So, Mr. Mill is worried that I do not wish to leave you, boy, because I'm afraid if you lose your way in the forest, if you do not find the way, and if the same thing happens that had happened to your father, if a snake bites you, then what will happen? So I do not really wish to leave you. I'll take care. It might take me a long time to find the fawn if he is wandered. Leave me off right here. So if the fawn has got lost, then it will take me some time to find it. So I really do not wish that you spend your time here. So I want you to leave me all alone right here, right now. All right, but you take it easy now. You know north here and east. So the character is saying that I hope that you know which one is the north south and which one is the west east west north south. So the character is saying that I do not wish you to lose your way. So I hope that you know which is the way and which side you should move, right? So the character is saying that. Now let's see what is in the next line. There and there, the tall pine makes a berry. So long, Mr. Millville, I'm obliged. He waited for the sound of the hoofs to end. Then cut to the right. The scrub was still. Only his own crackling of twigs sounded across the silence. He wondered for an instant if he had mistaken his direction. So we find that in this story, there. So he was pointing. That is, uh, that main character, the main protagonist, the character was pointing. Jody was pointing Mr. Will which side to move. That is, there are those tall pine bearing trees. Kindly move the horse towards that direction because I know the direction towards which we should go. So there, that tall pine makes a bearing. So makes a bearing here refers to that is the way we should be moving. That is the way we had last seen the form that side. So long, so long, Mr. Melville, I'm obliged. So you see that so long you have accompanied me through the way, and I'm really obliged for that. I'm really thankful for that. I do not wish anything more than this. He waited for the sound of the hooves to end. Then cut to the right, the scrub was still. Only his own crackling of twigs sounded across the silence. He wondered for an instant if he had mistaken his direction. So, instantly coming down from the horse, he was waiting for the hoofs, that is, the sound of the hard part of the foot of the horse. You know, tarak, 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 that sound, that tabak, 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 that hooving sound, that is the plates of the sound, that hooves that they move on with the horses. So he was waiting for that sound to be vanished off so that he understands that, okay, Mr. Mill has passed off and thereafter he can make his way to the forest. But for the time being, he thought that might be he had lost his way. For a time being, he thought that might be he had lost his way. The scrub was still, everything was so still. He was thinking whether he had lost his way or not. He was thinking whether he has totally lost his way or not. Only his own crackling of twigs, that is the sound of the trees across the silence. So the entire silence of the forest was only broken. It had only been broken by the moving of the twigs, the branches of the trees. He wondered for an instant if he had mistaken his direction. So he was wondering if he had lost his way. Then a buzzard rose in front of him and flapped onto the air. So buzzard here refers to, you know, as we will read the chapter, you will come to know what is the meaning of buzzard. A bird of prey, like vulture. Okay, so you can see the picture of the, vulture. A buzzard is a prey, like vulture. So this is a picture. Okay, and he says that then a buzzard rose in front of him and flapped into the air. So a vulture as if rose in front of him and it flapped its wing, right? Like this, it flapped its wing and moved over. You see, flapping the wing, this kind of a like bird of prey, flapped its wing, moved its wing and vanishes off. Okay. So he came into the clearing under the oaks. Buzzards sat in a circle around the carcass of the doe. So what is it? Carcass, the dead body of an animal. So he was frightened. Carcass refers to the dead body of the animal. So at some point he thought that, oh my God, is it the dead body of the fawn? So this was kind of a thing that was going on inside his mind. He was thinking, is it the carcass that they have formed around, like the bird of prey? What do they generally do? They sit around, making a whole circle round the dead body of the animal. They sit like vultures. Vultures sit all around, making a circle round the dead body of the animal. So it was his fear that is it so that this is the dead body of the fawn? So he was worried. He came into the clearing under the oaks. Buzzards sat in a circle round the carcass of the doe. They turned their heads on their long, scrawny necks and hissed at him. So, what is the meaning of scrawny? Okay, unattractively thin or an unattractive thin body. As you can see, this boy, right, standing there, you can see the picture. How skinny, how scrawny it is, you know. Too thin, too unattractive body. No one likes, right? Okay, it's okay to be slim and thin, but nobody likes, this thin and lean and thin body, nobody likes. So that was what was going on inside their head. Buzzards sat in a circle around the carcass of the doe. They turned their heads on their long, scrawny necks and hissed at it. That is, they were actually hissing at him, as if shoo, shoo, they were making some noise out of it. They were making some noise out of it. So he threw his bow at them, and they flew into an adjacent tree. Adjacent tree means next tree, a tree which is very near to it. So he threw a bow as if he had taken a bough or a branch from the tree, and they have just turned it to the bird of prey, that is, or the vulture and everything, so that they flew off, they fly off. And therefore, once they have thrown that branch to them, it flew off. All the animals that were sitting, forming a circle around the carcass, that is the dead body of the animal, flew out. And that is when he moved about, and he went to see what it was actually, or whose dead body it was actually. He threw his bow at them, and they flew into an adjacent tree, a tree which was very near to them. The sand showed large cat prints, but the big cats killed fresh, and they had left the door to the carrion birds that was near the birds. Okay, the birds that was very near to them. He parted the grass at the place where he had seen the fawn. It did not seem possible that it was only yesterday. So the entire incident had happened yesterday. But the total silence and the total absence of the fawn was really worrying the character, that is Jody. He could not even think that the entire thing had happened just some days before. That is, not even some days, some hours before. That is, it just happened yesterday. The fawn was not there. He circled the clearing. There was no sound, no sign. So there was no sound, no sign of the fawn. And he could not find the fawn. The buzzards clapped their wings, impatient to return to their business. He returned to the spot where the fawn had emerged and dropped on all fours, studying the sand for the small hoof prints. The night's rain had washed away all tracks except those of cat and buzzards. So yesterday it seemed that it had rained, and it had washed off everything except the footprints of you know, the cats and the buzzards. As you can see, the vultures and everything, they had their paws and their pawns on the on the sand, or on the the floor of the forest. So every shadow or every mark was there, and it was about to get smashed off due to the rain. So there was no mark of anything except the paws of the cat and buzzards, right? So this is what we get in this paragraph 6. And we also get to see the meaning. Like buzzards, we know that a bird of prey like vulture. Carcass is the dead body of an animal that is being hung over there. And scrawny, which is unattractively thin, or which is very bony, right? Now we are going to enter into the 7th paragraph, right? We are going to enter into the 7th paragraph, and let's see what is there.